The ASUS ROG Zephyrus is a lineup of laptops that is focused on being thin and high performance. And today we have this Zephyrus M here, which is within that series of laptops, but it has a few differences. And I personally really like this laptop. However, it is not a perfect laptop, and today we are going to tell you why. Once unboxed, the ASUS ROG Zephyrus M here comes in this very boxy aesthetic here. Personally, I see it as kind of okay, it's not really an issue for me. However, one thing I do want to take note of is the thinness of this laptop. And yes, despite being such a thin laptop, it is still very rigid and you can't flex it at all because the main chassis itself is made out of metal and it has this kind of honeycomb pattern inside the chassis itself to provide even more strength. And then comes the I/O selection itself. So the ASUS ROG Zephyrus M comes with a power jack, Ethernet HDMI, USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type A, microphone jack, and then another dedicated combo audio jack. So it's kind of special here if you want to just use a microphone. Then on the right side of this laptop, you get a USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type C with support of DisplayPort 1.4 and also USB PD charging. So that's interesting. You can use a charger like this Energy 60C here to charge your laptop. Well, not really charge, just prolong its battery life so it can last you longer throughout the day. And you also get two more USB 3.1 Gen 1 Type A ports. Opening up this laptop reveals a beautiful 15.6-inch display with 144Hz refresh rate and 3 milliseconds response time. And it is also Pantone validated and has a coverage of 100% for sRGB color gamut. So right out of the box, this display is gorgeous in terms of colors, and it also has very thin bezels around the sides because ASUS threw away the webcam. But the bottom chin is larger now, so the display is moved upwards to provide an even more comfortable ergonomic while using this laptop. And within the bottom chin is also where you can find the stereo microphones. And then when we look down here at this section, we immediately see how different is the Zephyrus M compared with the other Zephyrus models in this series. So it's using a much more traditional laptop layout here. The keyboard is still at the center while the trackpad is below the keyboard. Personally, I do like the keyboard layout. It is actually using the exact same keyboard as the ROG Strix Scar 3, which we have reviewed at the top right there. And overall, this layout works without an issue. It's a very functional keyboard and the layout is good, especially with the arrow key cluster here. However, because the keyboard is sunken a bit between the trackpad and the keyboard, it makes the spacebar a little bit difficult to press on, especially since you have long fingers. You have to rest your wrist way at the back here, so it makes the spacebar kinda unreliable for me personally. And then comes the trackpad, which I think is fine. It's usable, but the palm rejection could be a little bit better. However, if you are playing games, you're going to use an external mouse anyway, so it doesn't matter. Now for the specs of the ASUS ROG Zephyrus M GU502, it comes with an i7-9750H, NVIDIA GTX 1660 Ti, 8GB of soldered RAM, you can expand it later, and then it also comes with a 512GB NVMe SSD, which is using Intel 660p. And looking at the performance of this laptop, I think it is generally very good. You can still play most of the AAA games at higher settings without anti-aliasing, and you can get a comfortable frame rate. However, the temperatures are a bit sketchy here because you'll be hitting thermal limits of about 95 degrees Celsius on your CPU, while your GPU will be hovering around 84 degrees Celsius. Do keep in mind that if you want to achieve that 144Hz, you will have to lower down your graphical settings a bit, which I think is perfectly logical and fine. And then comes the battery life of this laptop. It packs a 76 Wh battery, which is surprisingly big for a laptop like this, and it can last me for about 4 to 5 hours on heavy Chrome browsing, medium YouTubing, and then very lightweight Photoshop. And I find it to be amazing because the performance that it offers and the battery life that it gives, well, it's just an all-rounder good laptop which you can just play games and then bring it out if you want to work with it. And then comes some of the things that I don't like about this laptop. I think these are personal complaints, and firstly, I think the rough surface here feels a bit dirty at first, but it's just a really rough finish. So After some time, I do get used to it, so it's not much of an issue. And the trackpad is also using some sort of rough surface. It is not as rough as this, but you can still feel the coarseness of that surface. And secondly, is going to be the loudspeakers on this thing. So for some reason, the sound is very muffled in this laptop, and it just makes the whole laptop vibrate. If you're typing on this laptop and you're listening to music, then you will feel the vibration on your wrist, and I personally find it really irritating. And one more complaint that I don't think it really matters is the fan noise. It's kinda expected for a laptop of this form factor. And if you're wearing headphones or earphones, then once again it shouldn't matter. So overall, for this model in particular, the ASUS ROG Zephyrus MGU502 with 8GB of soldered RAM and a GTX 1660 Ti, it is priced at 5,999 ringgit. I find that to be quite okay for all that it offers. It is not going to outperform all the laptops out there, but it is a very well balanced laptop that you can bring into your meeting room, still looking classy, and then bring it out for your gaming sessions, and it still looks good and performs well as well. So I think this laptop is going to be an easy recommendation, though barring some of the minor complaints that we have. So your mileage may vary depending on how your usage is. And that's it for the Zephyrus MGU502. I hope you like this video, and we will see you in the next video.